What's going on, people? It's your man, the White Beat, back once again. So, as promised, we got a crazy leak for you, man. Right now, something ain't no one seen before. Wait a minute. Let me get rid of these moody tabs right now because my mic's been bugging. I don't know what it is. I've tried this, I've tried that. It's one of, you man must have heard it. It keeps cutting out. Pagan caballery right now. Trying to take the YB off. Anywho. That's gone. 2 twos. Like I said to you, man. We got a crazy leak right now. Ade Oladipo. Simon. He claps. Essentially, what would you say? Is it a metaphor? I'm not sure. What's the word where you put words into an action? Ade essentially clips Simon up his ear and sends him back to blowing up a mid-level football club. Yeah? That's what Ade does to Simon Jordan, man. And I hate that everyone has to suckle up to Simon Jordan. I don't know what. We know what he doing, right? Allegedly. We can speculate. How do you get to the top of any of these moody media organisations? Oops. That was your ass, some people are saying. So we know what he been doing for the shekel. Yeah? How is Simon? Simon's in the middle of everything. He's talking about football. He's talking about boxing. He don't know nothing about any of them. Right? How does a man who don't know nothing about any of them end up in the middle of all of them? That's the question you might need to pose yourself. Oh, maybe. You always be doing too much. Oh, maybe. You explain it then. Yeah? He can't talk football. His club went under. Yeah? His club went under. What would he know about football? Right? What would he know? It's a bit like, I don't know. It's like John Fury. What would he know about boxing? If you go in there and the Black Skellington, Henry Akin one day puts a rangefinder out and you end up spark out on your back, yeah? You don't know nothing about boxing. You're no good. Yeah, so get John Fury out here and get Simon Jordan's Kabbalah looking ass out here as well. Anyway, Ade, like I said, he give this dude upside his head. Yeah, and you notice, see how the narrative's changed now? I'm calling this guy Saudi Simon from now on. Because before he was on a payroll as such, before Prince Turkey Sheikh Mohammed Salman bin put him on, oh, the Saudis, oh, human rights, oh, the Saudis, oh, human rights. And that's one thing I don't like about a lot of white man, yeah. A lot of white man, no one talks about what the UK been doing. Who here saw Simon talking about human rights in Iraq? Oops. Who here saw... So I'm not the people. Saudi definitely have moody human rights. But all of these, the whole lot, is run by psychopaths. Do you understand? So to be sitting there, virtue signalling, and then for Mr... Like, and this shows you what I mean by virtue signalling. To pretend you care about Saudi rights, and then you get flown out to Turkey's crib. No diddy. And now all of a sudden he's talking, AJ's the best ever. Yeah? Simon, he ain't stupid. He knows the right things to and to not say. Yeah, when he's not on the payroll, he's the biggest critic and all the sheeple. Oh, Simon. He's edgy. He's not really edgy because he flew out there and said, oh, you know, it's a great place actually. What, because you've been put on to some 5-star hotel? What happened to the human rights violation, Simon? That's what the people want to know. Are they violating human rights or not? And if so, what are you doing out there suckling off to them? Which is even worse. It's one thing to be naive. I don't know what's going on in the world. But to sit there lyricking about, oh, I'm sceptical of the human rights. But now you aren't. Now you aren't. It's all Prince this and his turbulency that and get on the show and oh, I'm very grateful for flying me out. And not only that, again, I'm waffling on here, but I'm going to get to the video in a hot sec. He's also putting out the party line now. The party line is, as we well know, as has been documented by a very prestigious, what are they called? Prestigious, what's the name? Pulitzer, yeah? Pulitzer Prize, Pulitzer, someone, one of them one. Pulitzer, yeah? You know the Pulitzer one, I'm not sure what it's called, Pulitzer, one of them shekel ones. Many Pulitzer Prize. Many Pulitzer Prize. Pulitzer Prize. Sorry, I'm going to have to get this up. It's pissing me off now. Pulitzer. Or whatever, man. It's a moody shekel word anyway. Listen. Many Pulitzer, that don't sound right. Many Pulitzer winning journalists, like the YB, have told you, man. Yeah? We've told you, man, what the Saudi narrative is. The big bull. It's bringing the big bull back to the big screen. Yeah, you got Barry Hearn in the back. He's been running the private. Someone else put a great comment. Yeah, they're in the scene. They said, oh yeah, I've heard about that, YB. Barry Hearn be running the private members only Mandingo bullfights in the basement of Hearn's Matchroom headquarters. And Matchroom, if you look into ancient times, Matchroom is actually a conversion to Mandingo Room. Right? 100%. Back in colonial times, Matchroom is equal to Mandingo Room. My point? Simon Jordan, who was critical of Tyson Fury, who was critical of AJ, and yeah, he still throws some critical bits in there, but now all of a sudden, AJ's, you're going to hear it, AJ's 3 times. And even Ade, and Ade's in there, listen man, Ade on right now, right? But at least he got a bit of backbone. He got a bit of character about him. Because most of these cats on here, like the other goof troop, what's the other? You got Gareth A. Davies. He's just trying to suck something. He has no opinion of his own. 100%. What's the other guy? It's Spencer something. Spencer Brown. No, not Spencer Brown. There's another Spencer that comes on here. Here's another one. He's supposed to be an old boxing head. He just says whatever Simon's saying. Please keep me on. Please keep me on. But Ade kind of held the line, man. So I respect that anyway. Let's get to the parts here.
His opinion would go further than mine.
Talking about AJ and Dubois.
If he's been in there and shared the ring with both of them. But I tell you, Dubois is an improved fighter, or at least he's got that momentum behind him right now.
But Joshua's back in the groove now, isn't he?
And Joshua is as well. So
I've always said,
Joshua. So it starts off. Most Groves and Ade, as you're going to hear in a second, were both saying AJ ain't shown us nothing. Dubois, based on the evidence in the ring, is actually the guy who's on right now. Simon out of nowhere. AJ's back. Simon, it was only X amount of time ago before you got flown out to Saudi, yeah? You were saying, AJ's finished. AJ's traumatized. AJ PTSD. Now, mister... Now you've been Turkified. Yeah? Now you've been Turkified. It's... Yeah, but don't forget about my talking piece. Don't forget Don't forget the script that Turkey gave me last week. AJ's back on. Listen again. Corny have an ass, dude.
on this Dubois AJ thing, I've always said, look,
right now, the ring with both of them, but I tell you, Dubois is an improved fighter, or at least he's got that momentum behind him right now.
But Joshua's back in the groove now, isn't he?
And Joshua is as well. So
Look at this.
I've always said on
this.
this.
You just see his face when he says it. It's like he don't even sound like he believe it. Yeah, but AJ's back in the groove, isn't he? It's almost like Turkey's in his ear, or not. I'm not saying Turkey directly, but there'll be one of his advisors saying, "Don't forget to mention AJ's back on." Yeah.
Or at least he's got that momentum behind him right now.
But Joshua's back in the groove now, isn't he?
And Josh.
Okay, it's fair. But AJ back in the groove, isn't he? Come on, bro. Based on what? Where you seen AJ back in the groove? I've seen him in a wrestler, a UFC wrestler. That's the last fight he had. He was on the floor rolling somewhere. People, he was rolling. Oh, he's a great striker. All the great strikers I know will do anything to stay on the feet, unless they turn into panic wrestlers like Conor McTapper. But even the panic wrestler at least started with the right intention. Ngannou went into that Gan fight trying to hug on something, trying to grab dude's leg. That's whack for a big knockout artist. Right? That's what you claim to fame is. What else he done? Wallin? Who's Wallin beat? Who's Wallin look devastating against? Do you understand? What's he done? It irritates me. What's he done? Wallin who? AJ was in there for about 5 rounds. Couldn't even smoke the dude like that. Wallin can box a bit. No aggression, no intention. He a Norwegian hippie looking ass essentially. And AJ was in there. AJ should have put it straight on him. Right? Just gone in there and weighed all over him. 250 pounds of Nigerian Mandingo. That's what Wallin should have got. Instead, he got the political half-butt twitcher. Now, you can say, fair play. There is okay, I've already said there's a bit of a trend, potentially. But that trend was like the start of AJ's career. He was all great until he got bopped on the side of his head of Mr. Blobby. It's been half a decade later. Anyway, so Simon's dipping in. Everyone's giving Dubois their respect. And then Simon can't help himself but drop the turkey bars in there. Anyway, this right here is Ade's response.
Is as well. So
I've always said on this Dubois AJ thing, I've always said, look, I go on what have you done for me lately? And you look at Daniel Dubois and it's, you beat up Hrgovic, who at the time, I never really thought he was that good, but was a boogeyman, a top 10 guy. You beat up Jarrell Miller, who came in nearly 100 pounds heavier than him, and did okay against Alexander Usyk. If you look at what AJ's done, it's hard to kind of grade him as to where he is, because he beat Ngannou, who isn't a boxer, you beat Otto Volin, and you beat Hellenius. So Daniel Dubois has been in there with by far the better boxer of the two. So, and I think...
Big facts. And this doesn't mean Dubois is going to win, but these are the facts, people. Yeah, if you are not an Anthony Johnston bisexual, the facts are Dubois has done what AJ's never been able to do yet. Yeah, AJ bisexuals have to believe that, oh, we're going to see the dog in him anytime now. Yeah? You're looking for... Essentially, you have to believe in Jesus to believe in AJ. Something that, you know, he's coming back. Them one's there. Them ones. Right? He's coming back. The prophet's coming back. That's the kind of... Oh, AJ's coming back. He hasn't lost his head. Dubois, you don't have to believe it because we've seen it. I've seen Dubois turn water into wine, people. Yeah, he was the biggest... He was even more of a jacker than AJ. Some people say AJ didn't jack against Ruiz. Some people say he did. No one's in denial. Dubois jacked against Usyk. And even if you say he had it, okay, maybe we forget the Joyce fight, his eye was hurt. But most people consider that a jack too. So he at least jacked in the Usyk fight. He had no reason to roll over in that fight at all. His eye wasn't bust. He wasn't getting that pressed. He just jacked. So to come back at that age as well, he didn't come back with his butt twitching. He didn't come back having it all his own way. He didn't come back versus bums. He came, yes, okay, Jarrell Miller, I never rated that fight, to be honest. That wasn't the one that got me on. But the Hrgovic fight, Dubois was a 5-1 underdog. And he was getting his head punched off for 3 rounds. Yeah? If there was ever a time, and Hrgovic, he might have no cardio. He might have no heart. But he can punch. And even if he can't punch, he was lighting Dubois up. So think of all that trauma Dubois theoretically has. We've seen him quit from a lot less, right? A lot less. Think of all that trauma. What must have Dubois been thinking in them first 3 rounds? If there was ever a time to quit, it would have been then. He pushed through and he made Hrgovic quit, in my opinion. Another round or two, Hrgovic would have been jacking. Hrgovic made... I got all these Philippe homosexuals telling me, oh, maybe he didn't quit. He quit. Yeah? Oh, he got a cut over his eye. There was no protest. He did not want to fight on. That's a quit, people. Plenty of people had their eye cut a little bit and wanted to fight on. He weren't one of them. He was happy. Not necessarily happy, but he was not complaining. That's for damn sure. He was like, damn, I'm out of here. And Dubois did that. And I didn't see the odds at the time, but Dubois must have been a 20-1 underdog after round 2 or 3. I was telling the missus, I was saying, listen, man, look at this big bull. Any second now, he's going to be on his Colin Kaepernick. That's what he's going to be on. He's going to be on his BLM. That's for damn sure. And completely mind-blowing. Dubois has done it. Like Ade said, Johnston, his butt twitched against Hellenius. That's a fact. If you are not homosexual. No one can tell me that was a dominant performance against Hellenius. Even Tony Bellew. Oh, you're right, Tone. You're right, Ant. You're right, Anthony. My best mate, Anthony Joshua. You're right, Tone. You're right, Ant. Even he was saying in the commentary in the Hellenius fight, oh, AJ's sucking here. And he was. Sucked. The Wallen fight, it was a bit better, but it still sucked in my opinion. And then you got the fight against the wrestler. The leaky wrestler. Say no more. And Ade said say no more. He's a mixed martial arts fighter. And that's where he's gone back to. With his tail between his legs. Just because Fury's useless, yeah. if Ngannou thought there's plenty of big fights for Ngannou, I wouldn't mind seeing Ngannou versus Bakoli. He don't want no more of that. He's realised now he's a good striker for wrestlers. He ain't a good striker for boxers. That's why he's 100% tail between the legs. Them ones. Anyway, Ade's got some more bars, I think.
I think he's settled with Don Charles. That quit thing is gone because we saw it against Jarrell Miller.
But who do you think's had the better 12 months? Because 12 months ago, or a little bit, you think Dubois categorically.
Categorically.
You too?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's sort of, you wonder whether the wins, you don't want to take them away from Joshua because you can only beat what's put in front of you, but it could be flattering. Like, if the result of the Ngannou fight was what I thought it would have been when he fought Fury, correct, and it wasn't. Yeah. And Fury sort of inflated Ngannou, but maybe not. Maybe Ngannou would be a bogeyman for the rest of the division. Get back to your boxing or whatever that may be. That might be a little bit tougher. So, I don't know. I don't know.
I think mentally, both of these guys have had question marks. I mean, we've questioned AJ's mentality. We've questioned Dubois' mentality.
Okay.
And again, salute to Ade here. Because I haven't heard Ade's the top guy at DAZN. Not top guy, but he's in the mix. He's certainly the face of DAZN, if I'm honest. Name me a guy outside of like Eddie Hearn or whatever. Who's the face of DAZN? It's Ade. I ain't never heard no face of DAZN. And really, I'm a small fry, but still. I don't even want to heat him up, man. Because he on. But still. He said it. End of the day. Yeah? Ade said... Johnston. In fact, I forgot what he said. I'm so tired. I ain't slept a wink. Do you know what I mean?
Let's get back to your boxing or whatever that may be. That might be a little bit tougher. So, I don't know. I don't know.
I think mentally, both of these guys have had question marks. I mean, we've questioned AJ's mentality. We've questioned Dubois.
Even questioning AJ's mentality. Who's done that? Yes, Simon Jordan. Before he called... Yes, Saudi Simon questioned it before he was on the page. He does it to be edgy, though. He don't do it because he actually feel that way. If he did, he wouldn't be playing this game here where he's acting like, oh, but Joshua's back. But who's told you to say that? You was talking about PTSD the other day. Right? How do you go from he got PTSD to, yeah, but AJ's back too? I'll tell you how. Yeah? You've been Turkified. That's the Turkifying of a man. 100%. Canelo Alvarez exposed the Turkifying of a man. Carrot Top said, I don't want no dude holding my leg. I want two gyal holding my hand. You best believe that. Meanwhile, you got Johnston, Dana White, a whole bat Eddie Hearns, bag of man. Just getting the Savile, essentially. Yeah, they gave him the turkey out there, I ain't gonna lie. Turkey out there giving these grown-ass man too, 35, 45, 50, 65-year-old man, Frank Warren. He giving them the gym will fix it, people. That's what you're putting on these cats right now. And they sit there and they suck it up. Dana White, big MAGA Trump boss. Big Alpha boss. Big high T boss. He hold dude's hand whilst he's shown around the house. Wow. He fell off. Yeah, he fell off for sure. But like I was saying, Ade, the only one in the industry like that, who's on DAZN. He's on Talksport, who said, AJ's had problems. He's lost his damn head. We've questioned his head. Yeah? And I respect that, so it is what it is. There's some more bars still.
Dubois' mentality.
Dubois
shown us.
Usyk,
yeah, Dubois shown us, though, that he's now overcome that hurdle. Because the going got very tough against Jarrell Miller. Very tough. And look, I'm not saying Jarrell Miller is an elite heavyweight.
I actually think the going was tougher against Hrgovic. Because Hrgovic was lighting his ass up. Yes, it was... But Miller can't punch a lick. He cannot punch at all. And Miller was... I watched that fight. He was just a big stiff, oversized heavy bag. The Hrgovic fight is what for me was impressive. Because he was a 4-1 underdog or whatever it was going into the fight. And he got the brakes beat off him. I couldn't see it. I'd have bet my life Dubois is finished at that point. And he waded in with his head and was bowling the shots over. Complete kind of MK Ultra psycho thing. His head's just been washed. He might be a clone, if to be honest. Just don't make no sense. I've never seen nothing like it. To come back that ferocious. He was ferocious before against bums, yeah? This was just different. Just different, people. Just different.
Heavyweight, but he's a very, very big, solid guy. The going got tough against Hrgovic. So we've seen him. The question you're asking about AJ, we've seen Dubois overcome those hurdles. We haven't seen AJ. Not saying he can't, not saying he won't, but we haven't seen it where we've seen it with Dubois.
And that's what I've been saying. People say, oh, IB, you a hater. No, you can't call Ade a hater. He posted up with Johnston, right? He posted up in front of him and talked to him. So he ain't a hater. That's the truth, though. That's what the homosexuals don't understand. The homosexuals are too worried about, oh, YB, look at his legs. Oh, YB, look at his biceps. Oh, YB, wouldn't you love Johnston to have a go on your missus? No, I wouldn't actually. That's for you, man. But those are the questions homosexuals be focused on. You ain't focused on. Hate is not. You ain't pushed through adversity yet. That is a fact, people. Mr. Blobby punched you up. And ever since then, you've never really wanted to have a scrap. Call me a lie. Which fight? The Ngannou fight wasn't a scrap. It could have turned into one. Yeah? Because a lot of us, we fantasize over that right hand. But in reality, that was the same issue he was doing with Ruiz. Yeah, AJ looks at the floor, drops his hand to his waist and bowls it over. The difference is, Ruiz would have boop and whipped the left hook off, and Johnson would have been doing the stanky leg, super low, getting low with it. That's what would have happened with Ruiz, right? Because Ruiz ain't with that. You can look at the floor, put your hand to your waist and then load it up and swing it all around the world. He's going to have to sling off the left hook. And even though he can't punch, you hit Johnson on his Humpty Dumpty, he all bent out of shape. So Ngannou, he don't have the boxing reaction. This is a whole different game, people. Boxing reaction is a complete different game. Complete different game. Time in the it's a complete different game. Complete different game. So whilst it looks good against Andy Ruiz, again, the homosexuals are telling me, and I think there's a chance, obviously, but how many times am I wrong? That's worrying. For me to sit there and tell you there's a chance, AJ will have a go on Usyk. That's not what the homosexuals want to hear from the YP. Do you understand? You don't want to be hearing that from me, because you know AJ has no chance. But theoretically speaking, if he goes in there and bowls Dubois out, and he's super aggressive, maybe, I'd like to think he'd have a chance at 250 pounds, bone dry lean, African bull, right? If a 250 pound, bone dry lean Nigerian bull don't have a chance against 168 pound Sean Porter victim, then what are we doing here? Yeah? But the problem is, like Ade says, we ain't seen no evidence of it. Go back, I implore you, man, to go back and watch the fights. The Wallen fight, which we all thought, at the time I was like, oh my god, he's in the Matrix. I watched it back, and it looked like an improvement on the Hellenius fight, but it wasn't a vast improvement. He was still politicking. He landed like one good punch on Wallen in 5 rounds, when Wallen was just standing there. Go get on him. Get on him. Beterbiev. Carrot Top. Get on him. Yeah, because them man like Wallen don't have the skills of someone like even Pitbull Cruz. Them man like Wallen don't have the skills to be evasive like that. Then big man, look at Tyson Fury. He don't have the skills to be evasive and he leaky. A lot of big man, they're leaky, especially in the back half. They've got no defense, got no speed. They're a sitting duck. Bottom line, pop, pop, bang is what Johnson should be on. He shouldn't be worrying about what's coming back. His chin, yeah, he quit, but his chin ain't that bad, if we're honest. He's always got up. He's never been doing the stanky leg or whatever. So he should really have relative. It's not. Has he got the best chin of all time? No, but I'd say he's in the top quartile. He's not in the middle. Who's got a meaty chin? I'm trying to think now. Either way, the point is AJ's in the top half at least of chins. He should have some confidence there. And I said that years ago, if I was AJ's trainer, I'd be telling him, hey man, we went down but we got up. It shouldn't be, oh, I went down, I don't ever want to do that again. It should be, hey man, we can go down. Look at Naz. Naz was probably in the bottom quartile of Tropses. Same as Amir Khan. To be quite frank, Naz and Amir Khan, they're probably in the bottom decile. They're in the bottom 10% of chins, historically. None of them, man, had a problem jumping up and having a go again. That's the point I'm making. It's not really... even Tyson Fury, he's again. Tyson Fury's in the bottom quartile of chins. Doesn't matter, though, if you're not afraid to... It's about how you get back up. And AJ, every time, apart from 20 years ago against Klitschko, he shit himself. Yeah, the Ruiz fight broke him, essentially. And since then, he ain't really shown us no. People say, well, he's adapted now. Now he's got the best of both worlds. He's got the power, he's got the smarts, and okay. I've heard this before. I've heard this yarn spun before. Like Ade says, I need to see it to believe it. That's all I've been asking for. There's no hate at all. We know Dubois is going to be swinging. If AJ goes in there and exchanges, which I'm very sceptical of, although Dubois is leaky to the right hand, this could be a nice alley-oop for Johnston, to be fair. But now we're going to find out how much power Johnson has. Because Johnson, as leaky as Dubois must be, yeah, he has no worse chin, and he has no leakier defense. In fact, Dubois got a better chin and has better defense than Dominic Brazil. Wilder clipped Dominic Brazil in like round 1. Spark out. AJ, it took 7 rounds. I put to you, AJ does not have that kind of power. He never has. Yeah? I had some Johnston secretary in my comments. Oh, AB, look at this fight from 2013 against Gary Cornish. It was a round 1 or 2. Like, bro, do you understand what you're telling me? You're telling me because Johnston put out Gary Cornish in round 1 or 2, that means he's a prolific puncher? No. Look at all the other fights. Dillian White, 7 rounds. Brazil, 7 rounds. Pulev, 11 rounds or something like that. Vlad, 11 rounds. Vlad's been knocked out. Vlad was 42 years old. Right? Who else you got? Throw any names. Povetkin went have 8 rounds, 9 rounds. Takam, 9, 10 rounds. AJ's never been a puncher like that. And that was in the prime of his career, undefeated. Virgin. Do you know what I mean? He ain't been popped yet. So Takam, yeah, there's no way Takam's better than the Dubois. Right? Even that Takam from 2017, whenever it was, 2018. There's no way you can tell me that Takam's better than Dubois today. So, if Takam can be in there for 10 rounds, and really people were arguing it was a bit of a moody stoppage, I don't think AJ put Takam down. Oops. A prime AJ, and AJ was actually engaging with Takam as well. It's not like he was shitting himself, like Ruiz too. He was engaging with Takam and it wasn't having much effect. So the myth about the power, we're going to find out if Ben Diamato Davidson is the real deal. Because if that Ngannou fight's real, like a lot of the Johnston receptors want you to believe, really, AJ should just be able to go in there. We know Dubois is leaky to the right hand. Hergovich showed that. All AJ has to do then, if AJ's this big one puncher now, all he has to do is look at the floor, sling his hand to his waist, and bowl it over, and Dubois should be spark out. I put to you, there's no evidence of that, apart from against a wrestler. Anyway, I think that's about it, to be fair.
So I know if the going gets tough in there against AJ, I expect Dubois to go through the gears and show that he's made of that metal. I don't know if I can say the same thing about AJ because we've not seen it. I think he will, personally, but the proof isn't in the pudding. We haven't seen it yet.
When you
Bosh. So salute to Ade, man, because he the only one. Those are the facts. And if fighters are like 14-year-old boys. Yeah? They go to the urinal and they're looking, oh, someone's looking at my little willy. Someone's looking at my baby dick. Once you get old enough, you just don't give a fuck, to be fair. You know what I'm saying? Do you know how much nans this baby dick has caned, ultimately? That's what matters. Yeah? I put this baby dick straight in the stink. That's what happened. So we can sit there and talk about length and whatever else. That's where it go. So who really cares? You get to an age, you just don't care no more. Fighters, though, they can be 40 years old and they're still in the urinal. Oh, like virgins. Do you understand? Still be doing that. I'm not even sure what my point was. What was my point? Oh, yeah. Fighters are, like, they're insecure. So, it'd be interesting to see what happens, because I can see AJ, I can see if AJ sees these ones, I don't know, it might end up going left for Ade, to be fair, because Johnson's that kind of guy. I've heard about things before, I think, when people slag him off. He won't come out publicly and say, Ade, you a punk. He'll just get on the phone to the El Shakel, top the zone dog, and say, man, get rid of him. He talked too much. That's what they'll do. And then if AJ sees Ade again in person, he'll be all smiles and all Mr. Lucas aid, because that's the Shakel. Rather than pulling up on Ade and saying, listen, Ade, I want you to keep your job. But you talk that again, you get a clap on the back of your bald head. Do you understand? That's what you should really do. AJ's not that guy. He'd be on the phone. He'd be politicking. He'd be pulling strings. Ending careers. And then acting like it wasn't me. I don't know nothing about that one. Corny ass dude. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. People, smash the like button, subscribe, like up the bell, 100%, no doubt about it. Stop it.